Good morning. Welcome to the Balancing Act. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. So you're taking your vitamins, eating healthy, exercising, but do you wonder why you're still getting sick? Next up, a way that the mystery might be solved. These stories and more today on the Balancing Act. Stay with us. Let's say you eat properly and take your vitamins every day. You think you're doing all the right things, don't you? Well, it might surprise you to learn that you might not be absorbing all of those nutrients as well as you think you are. Long term, this could cause problems with your health. Here to help us understand what we can do about this is industry expert Dr. Susan Wilder. Welcome, Susan. So you're saying that even if I do the right thing and take my vitamins, my body's not absorbing them correctly, or what's going on?
Absolutely. Our bodies are very individual, and our nutritional status has to do with many things, from our genetics to how we absorb and break down and eliminate drugs and medications.
So everybody's a little bit different in how vitamins affect them, but there's also, you say, a range of vitamins out there in quality.
Absolutely. I would say good supplement is an oxymoron sometimes. So because we don't have regulation in that industry, it is very hard to cull out the wheat from the chaff.
So what's a consumer to do? Is price an indicator? Are more expensive vitamins better?
Absolutely not. I mean, there are a few things that consumers can do. Number one is to look for the level of testing that a supplement has gone through. USP testing implies that the supplement is tested for quantity, that what they have in the supplement is what they say they have. Pharmaceutical grade supplements.
So they're even not regulated regarding their labeling? That they might not, you might not even be in that capsule, what it says on the box?
Absolutely. Very scary. Some are not worth the packaging they're packed in.
Right. Now, is there any way that you can find out what your body's missing?
There is a wonderful test that was developed by SpectraCell called the Functional Intracellular Analysis.
Functional Intracellular Analysis.
Say that 3 times fast. So the functional analysis looks at, from inside the white blood cell, your cellular function for about 25 or more different nutrients: vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, essential amino acids.
Is it a blood test?
It's a blood test. It requires no fasting. And unlike serum testing, you know, the reason that physicians don't look at nutrition is we've not been able to serum test it. You know, what I had for lunch is going to impact my test this afternoon.
Of course.
It's going to fluctuate wildly. But from inside the white blood cell, you can get a long-term assessment of what your nutrition is. And that also tells us cumulatively where you've been.
So this test will tell you at the cellular level exactly what you're missing, and then you can target that with specific nutrients. Now, we should say that at the cellular level is where you want to make your wellness happen, to prevent major illnesses, correct?
Absolutely. It is within the cell that all our major body processes are performed, and every major body process requires nutrients to facilitate it. So if you're deficient in any particular things, you have many processes that are going to have to detour or halt.
Now, you're a family practice physician who uses tests like this on healthy patients to make sure they stay healthy along the way, and you're one of the few people who are prescribing vitamins instead of drugs?
You know, yeah, it's been a paradigm shift to get into nutrition because it's such a small part of our medical training. But in terms of patients' overall wellness, in 16 years or 17 years now practicing medicine, of course I started when I was 12.
Of course.
I have not seen a more useful test in promoting overall wellness, preventing disease, and improving vitality.
Okay, with just a few seconds left, how do people find out about this test? Where can they get it?
They need to look at the website SpectraCell.com.
SpectraCell.com.
And they can find out more about intracellular deficiencies and find practitioners who are familiar with using this test.
Great. Thank you so much. Good to
You're
see
very welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Have you heard of the Great American Bake Sale? The fresh and yummy details coming up next on The Balancing Act. Don't go away. Every night, over 12 million children in the United States go to bed hungry. That's a staggering number of empty little tummies. But there is an organization that's working to change all that. Share Our Strength. And Chef Alan from Chef Alan's restaurant in Aventura, Florida, is joining us today. He's helping Domino and C&H Sugar to get the word out about this very worthy cause and how we can all make a difference by working together in the kitchen. Welcome.
A pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
So tell me, I mean, it's sort of amazing, 12 million children in our wealthy country going to bed hungry.
It is a scary fact, but it's true. The kids are going to sleep hungry. That means not only are they going to sleep hungry, but they're waking up hungry, and they're not ready for the day. They're not ready to go to school. They're more often sick and out of school. They're not focused on their work. We are hurting our future by letting kids go hungry. And so that with Share Our Strength, this is an organization across the country that is working to fight childhood hunger.
Now, you've been involved with Share Our Strength for about 20 years,
Yes.
and it began as an organization of chefs?
It is. It's a lot of chefs throughout the country. And though it's grown from just being chefs, it's writers and creative people to share their strength. But the chefs with Taste the Nation and the Great American Bake Sale are some of the events that we do to raise money to end childhood hunger.
Tell me about the Great American Bake Sale.
The Great American Bake Sale is a lot of fun. This is something that we do. Here in Aventura, our Great American Bake Sale is at the Aventura Mall.
Wow.
And with that, we get together professional pastry chefs from bakeries as well as restaurants, and get together and sell pastries, sell desserts, and raise money for childhood hunger. And with the Great American Bake Sale, it goes on all across the country. Churches, synagogues, and all sorts of organizations, kids and families get together and do these bake sales.
So you don't have to be a professional pastry chef. If
No.
you just make my peanut butter cookies, I could contribute?
Peanut butter cookies are ever popular.
So tell me how people watching at home can get involved today.
It's really easy just to do your own bake sale in your community. It could be small, it could be simple. Get involved with Share Our Strength by going to the website, which is greatamericanbakesale.org. There you'll get materials to help you organize the sale, some published things and some information about how to label and get organized, as well as where to send the funds to be a part of the Great American Bake Sale.
So it's greatamericanbakesale.org
Correct.
is where they got to go. Now, what is Domino and C&H doing to help promote this?
Domino and C&H are sponsors this year. They're the presenting sponsors. To be able to do the bake sales, we use sponsorship like theirs, which is wonderful. They enable us to have the printed material, to get the publicity, to get people involved in the community, and that's where it really helps the bake sale.
Okay, with very little time left, I can't possibly be with Chef Alan and not ask him about food. What are the big sellers of bake sales across the country?
Across the country, I think it has to be muffins and cookies and pies. In Miami here, you know what? We do a little bit of Latin, so something like a guava or a pecan. But you know what? Chocolate chip cookies, straightforward, hands down bestseller.
A great way for our whole village to come together as a nation and feed our children. And thanks to you, Chef Alan, and thanks to Domino Sugar and C&H for sponsoring this very worthy cause. You know, we all need to do our part to help end childhood hunger. Maybe you're a woman who's got some time on your hands after the kids have left the nest, or maybe you just want to get your degree so you can make some more money in your career. Well, you aren't alone in your quest. According to census data, 2.7 million women over the age of 35 are currently enrolled in school. But how do you find the right one for you? And do you do brick and mortar or online? Well, if you do have internet access, it's a snap. Feline Hart-Wiener is here to tell us her story. Hi, Feline.
Hi, Wendy.
Now, you are currently a professor at a traditional brick and mortar university.
Yes.
But you've got a lot to say about online education. Tell me about your educational story.
Well, when I graduated from high school, I went right onto a brick and mortar campus to go to college, and I completed my 4 years there and really wanted to go on to complete a master's degree, but I had to get a job, and I couldn't work and go to a campus all at the same time. It just didn't fit into my schedule. So I worked for a few years, and I found myself working for an online university, and I was selling the product but not taking part in it myself. So they started a master's degree program, and I enrolled, and I spent a year and a half in a master's degree program online, completed it, I said, wow, I never could have gone through this and worked at the same time.
And you did it.
And I did it.
Now, how is online school different from brick and mortar school?
Well, I don't have to drive to a physical campus and find the parking and walk into a classroom, but just like when you go to a campus, you log on to the computer, which is pretty much the equivalent of parking at school, and you log into your classroom, which is just like walking into the classroom. But instead of having to be there at a specific time on a specific day for an allotted amount of time, I could do it whenever I needed to with given time frames by the school each week to have assignments turned in.
So the lectures are something you read.
Correct.
In addition, do you have textbooks with reading that you must do?
Yes.
And papers that you must submit?
Absolutely.
And tests that you must take?
Absolutely.
So everything else is the same.
Yes.
Now, there's a little bit of misperception about online universities. Other universities, various universities accept it. In the academic world, online university is quite accepted, correct?
Yes, absolutely. As long as they're a regionally accredited school.
Yes.
There are other types of accreditation out there, but as long as the accreditations match to the school that you're comparing it to, then they're considered equals.
What was the college selection process like? Was it hard to get in?
Well, for the first school that I went to do my master's degree, as I said, I was working there, so it was a little easier. As long as I had met all of the requirements, I could be accepted. But finding a PhD program was a little bit more challenging because not all of the schools offered the programs that I was interested in. I actually had to switch from the online university that I was familiar with to go to another school because my school didn't offer my program. I looked around at brick and mortar and nowhere was close enough to me. I would have to drive about 60 miles back and forth each day in order to go to school. So I kept on looking and I found another online program that had just what I was looking for.
What about pricing? Is online studies a little cheaper? Or is it about the
No.
same? No, she's like, no money saving.
A lot of people would think so, but it's the equivalent price to going to a private university.
Looking back over this, you went to brick and mortar for your BA, you did a master's online, you're just about to complete your PhD online. Was it all worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't have changed it. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to go to campus while I was a lot younger. But unlike my husband, who goes to law school at night, he goes to an actual brick and mortar campus. So he leaves the house 4 nights a week and he drives 40 miles in each direction. I know, poor thing, but he loves going.
Yeah.
I prefer not to have to do that. I like having the flexibility of being able to go to school just before I go to bed.
Thank you so much for being with us, Feline. Online education, a great choice for many women, no matter what stage of life they're in. And if you want to find out more about this, you can go to thebalancingact.com. Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh with a solution to high gas prices. Why not stay close to home this summer with your kids? There are lots of fun, free things to do in your own community that will keep away the kiddie boredom. For instance, most libraries have reading time during the week, and they're scheduled by age up to 6th grade. The librarian usually reads a few books or tells a story, and it's free. You might even start a book club with your child. I did one with my daughter last year for 3rd grade, and we did an American Girl theme. Many bookstores also have reading time and give out free paperback books. So have fun with your kids and explore new worlds through Word Windows books.
Whole foods are better for you than 100% juice, although juice might contain more nutrients. An 8-ounce glass of OJ has 100 milligrams of vitamin C, and an orange has 75 milligrams. But that same glass of orange juice has 120 calories and 0 grams of fiber. An orange has only 60 calories and 3 grams of fiber. Orange juice that is not from concentrate is nutritionally almost identical to its from concentrate counterpart. The difference is OJ that isn't from concentrate may not be pasteurized or put through a heating process that kills dangerous bacteria such as E. coli. So check the carton.
Hi, I'm Ivy Larson, author of the Gold Coast Cure book series. Counting calories is definitely not the best way to lose weight for a variety of reasons. First, not all calories are equal. For example, although 1/4 cup of raw nuts, a whole food, and 1 serving of cake, an empty calorie food, both contain the same number of calories, your body will not metabolize the foods the same. The nutrients in the nuts will actually support a healthy metabolism and help your body convert the food into energy as opposed to fat, and the cake will only provide empty calories and no nutrients. So the cake calories are actually much more likely to make you gain weight, and they won't make you feel as full and satisfied as the nutrient-rich calories from the fibrous nuts. Eating cake means you'll end up having more food calories and more cravings at the end of the day. And the point is, when you choose nutrient-rich whole foods over empty calorie foods, your appetite naturally regulates and you don't need to count calories. And this is why counting calories creates the wrong mindset. If you're counting calories, psychologically, you tend to categorize the nuts and the cake as equal simply because they both have the same number of calories. So remember, not all calories are equal.
Hitting the road for your next family vacation? This complimentary Travel Values coupon book has everything you need for a fun-filled getaway. Save more than $200 in products and services, including a 10% discount on your next weekly car rental from Thrifty. This coupon is yours when you book your next stay at Country Inns and Suites. The offer is only good until September 30th, so start planning, book your stay, and upload movies from your vacation at www.seeyouontheporch.com.
Does your brain have something to gain? Are you forgetting appointments, not remembering people's names, or going into a room in your house and forgetting why you went there? Okay, I'm describing myself. Well, our next guest wrote the book on how to maintain a healthy brain as we get older. It's called 7 Steps to a Healthy Brain. Here with us today is author and clinical professor of neurology, Dr. Paul Winner. Welcome, Dr. Winner. That's it. Well, you've got to be a winner with this book. So 7 Steps to a Healthy Brain. Why did you write this book?
Well, I wrote this book because there's a very important concept. Normal brain aging. Well, that's a fallacy. Because I have patients who are 80, 90 years old, and their brain functions as if they're 20 years old. Guess what? That's normal. The other is abnormal. Now, as a clinical professor of neurology and as a researcher, a director of Premier Research Institute, I wrote this book, The 7 Steps to a Healthy Brain, to teach the public what we've already learned about how to keep the brain young and vibrant through your entire life. So you're not supposed to have these detriments or these problems as you get older.
So you want to share the information that up until now only the top doctors knew. So the secrets are 7 steps to a healthy brain. Can you tell us a few of them?
Yes, all 7 are important. In fact, they're equally important. But let's go through a couple of key issues. Basically, healthy brain nutrition. This is a very important point. The brain is 60% fat. We've developed a diet called the Healthy Brain Diet. This diet is designed to address basically brain issues. How do you keep your brain sharp? How do you keep it young throughout your whole life? What good is it to live 100 years if your last 30 years aren't that good? You want not only quality, you want quantity at both, and that's what we're doing with this. We're teaching people how to get both.
So what can we eat for our brain?
Well, some very important things. Blueberries are superb. Every single day you want some kind of berries. I have 7 foods for 7 days. You want to take those foods when you go to the shopping supermarket, the shopping centers. You want to make sure those 7 foods are in your cart. That's absolute key. Supplements. You know, there are good supplements that'll help you, and there's ones that can hurt you. And what's the dose? I go through that exquisitely in detail in the book on what you should and shouldn't do.
And I bet you're going to tell us omega-3s, fish oils are great, right?
That's absolutely wonderful, and everybody needs some of it. Now, there are some things, and there are certain people who have to be very careful, diabetics and issues like that, but you still need to take this stuff in some form, whether in nutritional forms of foods or in supplement forms.
Now, what about brain exercise? What is exercise for the brain?
Well, it's very vital, and crossword puzzles are just not enough. You need to do different things. New things are the key. In fact, each decade you should learn a new language, learn a new instrument, visit a country you've never been to, go and learn some new subject matter. That's what's going to make new connections in your brain. That's what's going to keep you young and vibrant throughout your whole life.
Learning something brand spanking new. Going back to grad school as an adult?
Why
reading a
not?
new subject? Why not?
And have fun with it. The other is become a sleeping beauty. Now, what do I mean by that? You need 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night. It's absolutely vital. Control your weight and to produce the chemicals you need during the day to stay sharp.
How does it control our weight if we sleep longer?
Well, there are multiple things, and I'll go into detail in the book on this, but you make certain chemicals at night that help you so you don't eat during the day. If you don't sleep enough, you don't make those chemicals, and you go and grab carbohydrates to just keep going. So you actually cause trouble when you don't sleep all night.
Okay, so sleep, exercise, nutrition. Basically, you're telling us that there are 7 simple steps that will keep our brain young and vibrant for our entire life.
Yes, if you do them all.
Dr. Winter, where do we go to find out more about the 7 steps to a healthy brain?
Well, you can go to drwinter.org, or you can get the book through Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com. Remember, this book gives you a roadmap on how to keep you younger longer.
drwinter.org. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Wendy.
And I'm Wendy Walsh. Thank you for joining us today on The Balancing Act. Tomorrow, some wine pairings, some great sandwiches, some cool summer salads, and a dog training company that will curb Fido's bad behavior. We'll see you tomorrow.
Air travel for The Balancing Act provided by Southwest Airlines.